Welcome everyone. This is Abhinav Johari from QA Guides. So today we are going to study one of the topic known as timers. Okay. If you have any inquiries, you can contact us on +91 94 140 54312, or you can come to our website, drop your email number here. Okay. So let's start with timers. So first thing comes to in our time is what are timers? So let's start with timers. Suppose we have, say, just a second, let Jmeter open. See, suppose we have sample one, okay, that need to be executed. We need a 5-second break, okay, before sample two should get executed. Fine. So timer is providing a just a delay of 5 seconds that it should wait for this amount of time before starting another sample. Okay, otherwise all the samples will run at the same time. Okay, getting the things? Now the next question comes, why timers? See, I have already told you with the help of timers we can add some time. Okay. Next question is, what is think time? See, it is the time taken by us to perform any action. Okay, it is the time taken by us to perform any action. It is a think time. Let me go to a website. See what I do. I launched this website moneyrediff.com. Okay, now I am thinking that I have to click on money. Okay, so I clicked on money. Fine, and after that I thought that I should click on my portfolio. So I clicked on my portfolio. Okay, fine. So I clicked on my portfolio here. So see what I am doing. I am thinking, where should I click? Okay, where should I go? So these all things we need to replicate here. Okay, that's why we use think time. Fine. So we will be working on different timers here. Fine. So first type of timer we will be working is the constant timer. Okay. So what we do, go here. Let's study about constant timer. Constant timer. Let's study on constant time. Suppose I specify a constant timer of 3 seconds. Okay. So what will happen? Say suppose I have a 5 samples. So before starting any sampler, there will be a constant wait of 3 seconds. Okay, before starting any sample, there will be a wait of 3 seconds. So before starting first sample, there will be a wait of 3 seconds. Okay, then sample 1 will be there. Then before starting second sample, there will be a wait of 3 seconds and sample 2 will start. So this is the way the things are going to work with constant timer. Let's start in our JMeter. Okay, I am creating a new thread group. Name it as constant timer. Let's add some dummy samples. 1, 2, 3 and 4. I have added 4 requests. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Now to see the result, I will be adding, I am adding a view result tree. Okay, let's put it on test plan. Fine. And after now what I am doing, I am adding a constant timer. So add a timer, go to timer, constant timer. See, it is asking me for a thread delay. A part of it, there is nothing special we have to specify here. Now see, I have to provide a delay of 3 seconds. So it is in milliseconds. 1000 milliseconds is equal to 1 seconds. I think all of you know it. So let's provide it 3000. Okay. Now save it. Fine. Let's save it with the name as timers. Fine. Go here and now run it. See, it is taking 3 seconds before first executed. After second, it will take 3, again 3, again 3, and again 3. Okay, it executed all the 5 requests, but it delayed every request by 3 seconds. If you go here, okay, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now see here, see 11 was it, 11. Now 3 seconds means 14, 14. 15, 6, next 3 is 17, 17. Next 20, next 23. Now you can clearly see that each is being delayed by 3 seconds. Now I will let you know about the next type of timer. Let me disable it. Control T. Okay. Let me add a new thread group. You know Control T, it's for toggling. Let me add a timer. Let's take constant throughput timer. The next timer is constant throughput timer. Okay, what it do? Suppose I want to execute 10 samples. Okay, I want to execute 10 samples in 1 minute. Don't go with spellings. I am very bad in it. Okay, if I want to execute 10 samples in 1 minute, then we will have one sample will come after every 6 seconds. So it will divide accordingly, and one sample we will get in how much second? 6 seconds. Okay. So let's see it practically. So what I do, I name it as constant throughput timer. Okay. Now what we do, just add these requests here. Fine. Okay. So if see here we are having two things, target throughput and calculate throughput based on this thread only, this activity thread. There are multiple things. Let's keep it as this thread only, and let's take it as 4. Okay, we want that 4 samples should get executed in a minute. Okay, so let's go here, clear it, fine, and run it. See, first got executed. Now divide 60 by 4, so it will be 15 seconds. So after 15 seconds, next request will be executed. Just wait and watch. See, it got this was the first second after so it got executed at 1. Okay, now it got executed at 16 minutes. After next 15 minutes, now it will be 31. Okay, next 15 seconds will be 31. See here, getting the things, and another will be around 46. So in 1 minute we got that 4 samplers has been executed. Getting the point? See, 46. Before going ahead, there is very important thing which I want to discuss. That is, what is throughput? That is throughput. We were here, constant throughput. Just a second, be with me. So let's discuss what is throughput. So it is the maximum output. So what's maximum output and what way? So we want that this should be the maximum output for per period of time. That for a period of time, this should be the maximum output. It could be 1 minute also, 2 minute also, but in our case here it is per minute. It is sample per minute. Okay. Now suppose, see, we have an interesting thing here. I am telling you. I want to add a timer here. See, I want to add a timer with every sampler that it took this much time. So what I can do, either you can go with option, okay, where it is, see, function helper dialog, okay, either I click here, okay, so here you can enter the function. So I want a timer function, so I go here and select time. Okay, now we can specify the format in which we want the time should be displayed. So let me do what I do. I give small ss space capital SS 3 times and I generate on the clipboard. See, it providing me with the seconds 43 and milliseconds. Okay, it is providing me with seconds and milliseconds. So in the similar way, what I can do, I can use it like HH, MM, SS, okay, and generate. See, it is providing me current time. If you can see, it is my current time. Okay, it's 11 44 minutes 25 seconds and milliseconds are also coming. See, as soon as I click on generate and copy to clipboard, it has already copied. Okay, now cross it. I go here. What I do first and this. Go here. Second and paste. Third, fourth, fifth. Save it. Go here, clear it and run it. See, 45, 54, add 15, it will be around say 6, 9. Okay, now next will be 29 plus 5, 34. It must be 34. Sorry, 24. Yeah, correct. Okay, so now you can see all the time with each and every sample. Okay, hopefully you got the idea of constant throughput timer. Next timer which we are going to work is uniform random timer. Okay, let me disable it. I am adding a new thread group. Okay, so let's name it as uniform random timer. Okay, fine. See, as the name suggests, it is uniform random timer, and uniform means that there should be a uniform delay. There should be a constant delay. Let me show you. Random means any value. Okay, let me show you practically. What I do, I add a new timer, uniform random timer, and it is asking me for two things. First is random delay maximum, and second is constant delay offset. What is it? See, for random delay maximum, I provided 10 seconds. Okay, means there could be a maximum delay of 10 seconds. Now what I do, copy all these things, copy and paste it. Okay, save it. Let's go to your view result, clear it out and now run it. See, first request came. See, it they see the difference now. First request came at 10. Isn't that second only another request came? Another request came after 1 second. This came after 1 second. This came after 2 seconds. Okay, so there is no constant thing. They are random. Any time any request can come, but they have a maximum delay of 10 seconds. A request cannot delay itself maximum for 10 seconds. Okay, it has to come within 10 seconds. Now let's do some other changes. Say now uniform random timer, its maximum is 10 seconds. Now give a constant delay offset as 5000 means 5 seconds. So there will be a minimum delay of 5 seconds, but maximum will be 10 seconds. But the request will come randomly. Getting the things? Minimum delay will be 5 seconds. Maximum delay will be 10 seconds. But random between them will come between 5 to 10 seconds only. They can come randomly. It can come in 6 seconds. It can come in 7, 8, 9, 5. Okay, let's run it out. Okay, clear it and run it. See, first request came. Now there should be minimum delay of 5 seconds, but not maximum of 10 seconds. So it's in 53 on 06. Okay, let's see. 53. Why it is taking 20? 28 is fine. Yeah. Bodies. These scenarios helps us in achieving more real scenarios. That see first came at 7. Okay, and it will come more the after minimum 5 second only. Okay, second came after 9. Third came after 7. Fourth came after 5. Minimum was 5. Okay. So see, this is how, and it came after 9. So all worked perfectly. Okay. So this helps us achieving most real life scenarios. Okay. So next timer which we are going to study is Gaussian random timer. What it is? Gaussian random timer. So what is Gaussian random timer? So what is it? So it is can be divided into two parts. First can be say Gaussian and second can be random timer. So there are two parts, Gaussian and random timer. See, random timer we have already discussed. Okay, so what the random timer is, that it would be providing time randomly. Okay, it would be providing time randomly. And the next question comes, what is Gaussian? That it will generate time according to the Gaussian curve. So now there come another question. So what is this Gaussian curve? What is this Gaussian curve? See, what is the Gaussian curve? See, we have a curve something like this. Okay. Okay. This is also known as a bell curve. What it is known as? It is also known as a bell curve. Okay. Fine. Or you can call it as a normal curve. And see, maximum request you will get within this time. Oh, it is not transparent. should be transparent. Okay, so maximum request which you will get within this time period. Just a second, how can I make it transparent? Let it be. Okay, so maximum things will be within this time period of Gaussian curve. Okay, within that upstairs side. Okay, getting the things. So let's work on it. Let's create. So add a thread group, disable it, Control T, add a new thread group. Okay, here let me add a sampler. Let me add a debug sampler here. I have added a debug sampler. See, do one thing, delete it from here, delete it, add a dummy sampler. Okay, you know how to add the plugins. I have already told you, go to plugin manager. I am having this dummy sampler, apply and change and restore. It is downloading it, let it download. Okay, you should also view my video of how to work with plugins. Yes, so my JMeet has started. Now let me add a sampler, that is dummy sampler. You can see there is a dummy sampler which I got it from my plugins. Okay, so see, there are multiple things in it. So in dummy sampler there are multiple things. Let me remove it. This thing, this thing, this thing, this. Delete this also. Okay, so remove all these things. Put its name as Gaussian, GAUSSIN, Gaussian random timer. Okay, now let's run it out. See, it worked fine. Okay, we got status response code at 200. Now let's do some changes here. Go here, go to your previous request, takes the your this variable. Okay, copy it, fine, and you can paste it here. Where is the name? Just a second. Be with me. Yes, here it is. Okay, and now let's add a Gaussian timer. Fine. See, I have added it. What I do? Add 5 samplers here. Just copy them. You can copy them. Okay. If you see that the deviation which we were talking about here, let's take it as, say, something, make constant delay as 500 millisecond and keep deviation or variation as 100 only. Okay, so let's run it out. Okay, first one, second, third, fourth. See, all these executed. Okay, if you can see, it started at 55. Okay, and it ended at, say, 57. Okay, so what I can say, there is only difference of 1.5 second, or we can say there is a difference of 2 seconds. Okay, 2 second difference is between first and last sampler. So from first and second there is a time difference of, say, 400 millisecond. Second and third 400. Now there is, say, 600 around time difference. Okay, and here it also 700 milliseconds time difference, but you can say that there is not much time difference. Now think according to curve. Okay, see, here come curves go by difference of 300, then it increases by 500, then it again increases by 600 milliseconds, and now it start declining. Now it came by 300 milliseconds. So in the initial, slowly it will go upstairs, and when it is going to upstairs, there will be a lot of difference, if you can see, and slowly it will come down. So difference will the milliseconds will decrease according to that curve. Next interesting timer which we are going to study, this was all about Gaussian. Okay, you got the idea that how it works. Next timer which we are going to study is Poisson timer. Let's work on it. So we are working on our timer, that is Poisson random timer. Okay, so let's work on Poisson. Be with me. Okay, so in Poisson random timer, the graph will be something like this. Okay, so we have a maximum time, and time keeps on decreasing in Poisson random timer. So if the starting time will be more, and slowly it will start decreasing. So how we use it? Let's go here, toggle it out, add new thread group. Okay, add a timer here. Okay, do one thing, borrow all these things from here. Okay, copy it and paste it. Okay, now go to Poisson. You will see something known as lambda. What it is? Lambda. And there is a constant delay. Okay, let's take the constant delay as 2 seconds and keep lambda as 100 milliseconds only. So let's run it. Okay, so I am running it. See, it took 2 seconds. Then the see, now the things, if you see in seconds, things are decreasing. Okay, if you can see that things are decreasing. Starting it was high, and now slowly things are decreasing. Okay, so in the starting it is very high, and slowly it decreases. You can Google about Poisson curve also. What it is saying. Mm-hmm. I don't know why it is not showing. Just a wait. See, if you can see these, there are multiple Poisson distribution curve. Okay, in some way it starts from upstairs, some way it go like this. Okay, so actually they are both, basically it depends on this lambda. Okay, it depends on lambda. It is random. Okay, sometimes it can increase and then start decreasing. Sometimes it starts with increasing and then it start decreasing. Okay, it all depends on this lambda value. Okay, calculation is done on lambda value. If you are from mathematics domain, you can understand it more. Okay, so this is all about our timers. Fine. Next session we will go to our new things. Okay, I am signing off. This is Abhinav Johari from QA Guides. For any inquiry, you can contact us. Thank you.